The topic that I have chosen to talk about is the necessity for the use of medications for the treatment of mental health disorders, as well as the negative stigma associated in doing so. Based on a study conducted in 2017, there are 792 million people, or 10.7% of the world's population, struggling with some type of mental disorder, such as depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder. By this point, the number may even be higher, as well as understated, as many people are not officially diagnosed or do not seek treatment for their mental health issues. I feel it is extremely important that these people obtain the medicinal help necessary to lead a functional and fulfilling life. Personally, I feel as though it is extremely necessary in the treatment process of mental health disorders to utilize medications in addition to therapeutic treatment methods. I myself struggle with mental health issues, specifically with severe obsessive compulsive disorder and an eating disorder. Although I also participate in exposure therapy, I would not be able to function if I were not able to take my medications. There was a time when I was criticized for taking medication and was told to just get over it or you have to try harder, and it was very hurtful because I truly could not function normally without them. I was at the point where I was barely living because I was so overtaken by my fears and anxieties. This led to my inability to interact with other people and complete simple tasks that many people often take for granted, such as eating, touching things, getting dressed, or even bathing. These activities would take me hours to complete as there were so many steps that I needed to take to accomplish them. After years of struggling and having undergone numerous treatments, including the trial of just about almost every commonly prescribed antidepressant, I was at the point where I was strongly considering having brain surgery as means of treating my OCD. Basically, I felt that I had no other option. However, in my research, I was told that there was one specific medication that was required for me to have tried before even being considered for brain surgery. Although I had been previously denied to take this medication by my local doctors, after bringing it up to them, they finally agreed to allow me to try it, and despite holding back on prescribing it for years due to its potential side effects. This medication is specifically used to treat OCD and has been used with successful results for many people. While there can be risks in taking this medication, for myself, the benefits outweigh the risks, and I have virtually no side effects in taking it. While this medication did help tremendously, some of my issues still remained, and I continued to research for more medicinal options that would help me reach to the point where I wanted to be. When referred to an OCD specialist in Boston, I learned of a medication typically used to treat Alzheimer's disease that has been shown to be effective for OCD, as well as because it is targeted different neurotransmitters in the brain that other available medications for OCD and other disorders do not. I can't even begin to tell you what a huge difference this medication has made in my life. I am now able to do things that I have not been able to do in 5 or more years. This is a miracle for me, and I am now able to lead a greatly more functional and fulfilling life. Overall, I believe that people need to realize that the brain is an organ in one's body, just as are the lungs, heart, kidneys, or liver. If someone has a heart problem, they do not hesitate to seek help or take medication for it. No one even questions the fact that he or she is taking medication to help regulate their condition. However, if another person struggles with depression or anxiety and takes medication, they may be looked upon as weak and are sometimes judged. People should not have to feel ashamed for taking medication for their mental health issues. As stated earlier, there are so many people that struggle with mental health issues, and I truly hope that people will start realizing that medication is sometimes necessary to treat them, and that the stigma surrounding the issues of mental health will dissipate. In my speech, I used the rhetorical elements of both pathos and logos to demonstrate my arguments. I used pathos by describing my own personal experience to appeal to the empathy of the audience, as well as logos by utilizing facts in the form of statistics or data of how many people actually suffer from mental health issues in the world to support my claims. I also used rhetorical devices to make my argument stronger. The rhetorical device of analogy in the form of my personal story was used to provide an example of how medication is necessary for the treatment of mental health issues. I also used the device of evidence when I cited the statistics of how many people in the world struggle with mental health issues to show the need for an emphasis on treatment, including the use of medication. that concludes my speech for the visual argument project. Thank you.